for our first circuit, we're back on our squats. So again, we're doing the kettlebell squat here. If you want to do the barbell squat, that's great. If you want to hold your kettlebell up here, it's really however you want to squat. What we want is the most optimal squat form, which, to review that quickly, is going to be pulling our hips down, keeping our torso upright, and you pull yourself down, letting your hips meet your chest, and then we drive straight back up. So things you want to avoid are dropping too far forward like this. Weight on your back or a heavy kettlebell may make you, instead of dropping your hips, just drop the front side. So that would be more of a hinge, which isn't necessarily bad, but not what we're working on. And then you also want to be careful. We get down here in a good position, but then we shoot our hips and then use our back to get up. So we want all this to stay upright, pull down, and then stand back up. Before we do our jumps, before we do our squat, we're going to do jumps. Okay? So if we're doing our jumps, we're going to do these before our squat. We're going to hold light weights, 8, 10, maybe 12 pounds. It's all going to depend upon you and what you can handle. We're going to try to stay in the exact same place the whole time. Squat down, jump up. Again, keeping that chest up. We got 6 to 8 jumps. Now maybe jumping isn't your thing, and if that's the case, that's fine. We're going to push the sled up back in a sprint, try to go as fast as you can. Or if you don't have access to a sled, we can do 10 med ball slams. Our goal here is to get our heart rate up, but use our legs as well. The jumps are really intense, especially to pair them with the squat. So maybe say those for some younger folks, the athletes. If you don't have any knee issues, hip issues, back issues, and you feel good, go for it. The sled is going to get our heart rate up and also work our legs. It's going to take the eccentric portion out, so it's not quite as taxing on our legs, but it's going to get that heart rate up. It's going to be nice for us, and it's much less impactful. So if jumps aren't your thing, maybe the sled is. If you don't have access to the sled, again, let's just get 10 med ball slams, and that'll be that first circuit. So when you come off, before we start our second set of squats or our jumps again, we need to make sure we have 2 or 3 minutes rest. That heart rate's come back down, your legs feel good before we go again. All right, so 4 rounds there. From there, we're going to move on to a chest press. Now, when we do this chest press, we're going to pair it with a toy soldier. So I'm going to lay down on my back, and I'm going to have one leg up and one leg down. I'm reaching my hand for my leg, and I'm going to switch. And my press is reaching toward the opposite leg. Now, don't get lazy with this and just do this. Reach up for that leg. Reach up for that leg. I got one elbow down and one elbow up. I've got a big range of motion. I'm not going super fast. We're going to get 10 on each side. That's 20 total. From there, we're going to find a bench, a stack of blocks. We can get kettlebells or dumbbells, or plates, plates. Stack those up. Chair, couch, whatever works best. We're going to have our hand on top and shoulder over top of hand. We don't want to be out here. This is going to be really easy. We also don't want our hips to fold in front here. We want to be in that nice push-up position, and we're going to row with one arm. If we get crazy, we can lift one leg. We got 10 each side, and then we'll switch. Keeping that core still. You don't have to put that leg up. And being active with this arm. Driving that shoulder blade through. Pressing that ground away. So we have our push-up, single arm, reaching up towards the leg. We have our row, and then we're going to come over to a face pull. I've got our face pull set up on the cable machine. So here, the nice Smitty Diesel handle here. Put my hands through and hold here. The idea being that I don't have to squeeze really hard with my hands and let my forearms overtake the work from my back. A rope attachment works well for this on the cable as well. All right, so we'll take a few steps back. Make sure that when you extend, you're not letting the weights down. So get some tension in the strap. You can hold in a split stance and do your base pull. You can hold in a single leg stance. Try to stand up as tall as you can. Avoid leaning way back and just doing this with the weight, and you just kind of have this balancing act. You want to stand straight up and be tall. I've got a whole bunch of weights stacked on this for some reason. We want to stand up and be tall when we do this move so that our core works, and then we can really feel those shoulder blades go apart here when we reach forward and protract, and then come together, squeeze, retract. Protract the shoulder blades, retract. Again, don't think you're squeezing hard and trying to bring our hands to our body. We want to pull those elbows and shoulders back together and then let them back out. We have 4 rounds of that. You can let yourself rest, and then we're moving on to kettlebell swings. So we'll start here, old school kettlebell swing. Get that core tight, set the hips back. The kettlebell's out in front of us. We're gonna drop it back to the side. We're gonna hike and throw. Hike, throw. Look how tight the kettlebell stays to my body. Notice how I stretch the glutes and throw forward. My hips don't go down towards the ground. That was in the squat, it was earlier. But I do push off the ground and throw my hips up and forward. The motion here is to get a big stretch and then push off the ground. So the feet are pushing into the ground. We've got 10 to 12 swings, and then we're gonna get on a bench that is about knee height, maybe a little bit shorter, okay? I would like you to be on a bench so that we have something behind us a little bit that I have to step over. So you'll see how this operates. Get that weight up in the upper leg. We're gonna stand up, and I wanna stand up as much as I can, keeping the weight in this forward leg. I don't wanna drop my weight and then push off the ground. I want to barely touch this leg. Up, I can use things for balance, it's fine. I'm going to do 12 on the right leg, then I'll switch over 12 on the left leg. We don't want to be on the end of the bench here, because then what people end up doing is this. I want you to have to be forced to step over the bench, because we want to stand up in this hip, get some hip extension, back down, hip extension, back down. A lot of glute work, a lot of quad work, a lot of balance work. So, kettlebell swing, and the step overs, 12 step overs each side, 10 to 12 swings. Rest, your heart rate's gonna be crazy after that. Rest 2 minutes. We have 4 rounds there, and that completes your workout. So, shoot us questions, shoot us comments. If you wanna come join us in person, we'd love that. We're here for you. Hope you have a great workout. Thanks for hanging with us.